Cudham CE News.
Hi Cudham family, and welcome to this Christmas edition of Cudham CE News. What a term! The autumn term is often one of the hardest because of the length of time that we are in school. It's one of the longest terms of the year, not to mention the fact that it gets colder and darker as the term goes on, and we all start to feel really tired at this time of year with the Christmas celebrations and everything that happens. But throw into the middle of that a pandemic, and you end up having a very stressful and challenging environment to work in. We've had to put up with COVID restrictions that have changed almost monthly. We've had to try and recover lost learning from lockdown number 1. And we've had to put ourselves into bubbles, and that's a challenge because you want to see the people in the other bubbles, you want to see your friends and you want to see your colleagues, and it's really difficult to maintain that distance at times, but we have. However, out of all that real challenge, we have had some amazing moments this term. We've made donations to the Bromley Food Bank and really thought about other people in our community who might be in need. We've had online worship, which means we can still meet together even though we're in different classrooms. We've had remote learning set up at a drop of a hat, not this one, so that education can continue at home. We've had online community events where we've all been able to come together and spend time together remotely in the safety of our own homes. We've had Christmas Jumper Day, which raised money for Save the Children charity. We've had socially distanced Christmas dinners. We've had our virtue certificates given out this week. And I want to say congratulations to Brooke in preschool, Artie from Marigold class, Harold from Rose class, Sophia from Honeysuckle class, and Layla from Forget Me Not class. They will have received a badge along with their certificates, which means that they can wear that as part of their school uniform to show that they really were setting our Christian value and virtue of faith this term. So we've made it to the Christmas holidays, and I really hope that you and your families enjoy a good 2-week break from school. Thank you for the last minute change of the school closing on Friday. No one has made it difficult for us, and in fact I feel that everyone has been very understanding of why the decision was taken. Over the Christmas holidays, I must stress how important it is that if your child tests positive for COVID-19, it's so important that you contact the school on our telephone number, which is 01959 572 673. Because if we need to make any phone calls to other children who are in that bubble, it's really important that we have that information. If your child tests positive after the 23rd of December, there is no need to let us know until the 4th of January when we return to school. Thank you. That's a really important message. So if your child tests positive, please phone the school. We've also made the decision to swap around the collection times at the end of the day. This is just to make sure that the children who've been leaving early have an opportunity to leave at the later time and have that half an hour of learning in school. For this term, they've been leaving at 2:45 and have been expected to continue with half an hour of learning at home on Purple Mash, by doing quiet reading, or on Times Table Rockstars. And so we feel it's only fair that for the next term we swap the early and the late collection times around, just to make sure that we're being fair. So at 2:45, if your child's surname begins with an N to Z, they will be collected at 2:45 from January. As normal, the 3 o'clock collection will remain the same. So if your child's surname starts with a H to M, there will be a 3 o'clock collection, not kick-off, it's not a football game. And if your child's surname starts with an A to G, it will be a 3:15 collection. That, as I say, is just to make sure that we're being fair and balanced, and those who've been going home early and continuing their education at home have an opportunity to remain in school for the full day. Thank you. You will remember that a couple of weeks ago we sent you home a document of how you could support your children with their learning at home, and I hope that you found the document useful over the last couple of weeks. And when we return in January, I'll be setting a weekly reminder and perhaps giving you some of the challenges to complete at home to try and support your children with their learning. You should have also received, at the end of this week, your child's report. And on that report, it will tell you about some of the recent achievements they've had in the classroom, some of the targets that we're working towards, but also give you some advice on some of the things you can do at home to support them with their learning further. The productions are also available to download, and those of you who've returned the agreement that says that you won't share online on any social media sites should have received a text message or an email to give you the details of how to download them for yourself. You can either watch them from the online storage, or you can download them for yourselves and keep them on any devices that you might want to use at home. But I must stress that these are not to be shared on social media for GDPR reasons. Thank you. When you get a chance to watch the productions, I'm sure you will agree that the children are just amazing. They're singing, they're acting, they're dancing. It's just wonderful to see. And I really want to thank all the staff who are involved in putting these productions together. Mrs. Osborne, Miss Minto, Mrs. Walker, Mrs. Strawson, Mrs. McCatherine, Mrs. Wickens, Miss Reed, Miss Bassett, Mrs. Borg and Mrs. Bailey. Thank you so much for your hard work in putting this together, and I hope it lifted your spirits, and I hope it gave you a little bit of Christmas back that COVID couldn't take away. You still got to see your child performing and enjoying themselves. I'd like to take the opportunity to say a few thank yous in this Cudham CE News Christmas edition. The first thank you that I would like to give is to Mr. Stracy, who for the last few years has free of charge run our school website for us. He's decided now that he would like to take a break from doing that, as it is quite a commitment to upkeep our website. But Mr. Stracy, we are so grateful for all that you've done for our school. Those of you who've been here a while will know that Mr. Stracy served many years as our Chair of Governors and Chair of the AAC, and he has given so much of his time and energy and resources to our school, and we are so grateful. So Mr. Stracy, thank you so much for all you've done for our school, and thank you for maintaining our website all these years. Thank you too to the Fox Group. What an amazing group of people you are. You do so much for our children. You give them so much joy. You raise so much money for our school, and I cannot thank you enough. I am so grateful. And even in these really challenging times, you've still been able to put on events that makes the children smile and also raises money for our school. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for organising the Smarty Tube challenges, and I'm sure there's some parents at home who are grateful for that too, as they managed to get the children to do some chores. Thank you for the Make the Rules Day, which is happening today, and we cannot wait to see how the children respond to the Fox rules for a day. Thank you for your continued support. You really do benefit the school. You are just wonderful in the way that you communicate messages on our behalf, the support you offer the school. I cannot thank you enough. Whilst we're talking about the Fox fundraisers, I'd like to say congratulations to Harry from preschool, who managed to win the prize for the Smarty Challenge. He received a teddy bear that was just as big as him, and his face lit up when I brought it down to preschool. So congratulations, Harry. Enjoy your teddy, and thank you again to Fox. Thank you too to Reverend Musson and Reverend Archer, who over the last term have just been a magnificent support for the school, both pastorally to the staff members, but also in the way that they've supported the school through worship, through a harvest service, through our Christingle service. Your determination to remain part of our school and the support that you offer us, I'm so grateful for. It's great to have these links with Cudham Church, and I'm so pleased that despite all the COVID restrictions, we've been able to maintain them. And I'd like to thank you for every week producing a worship video that can be watched in our classrooms or at home. They really do add to our day, and they really help us to come together as a community, even though we have to stay in separate bubbles. So thank you so much for your hard work and your support. My final thank you goes to all the staff who've been working at the school this term. You've been absolutely incredible, unbelievable. You have worked so hard, harder than I've ever known anybody to work. You've worked so hard to be there for the children, to set up remote learning at a drop of a hat, to plug gaps in the children's learning from lockdown 1. You have been there for their pastoral needs. You've supported them with their well-being. You've put a smile on every single day and made the world seem positive. And you have just worked so hard to educate these children on top of dealing with all this stuff that we've been going through individually as well. You've been listening to our families, you've been listening to our children, you've been taking on their cares, you've been supporting, and you have been incredible. You deserve these 2 weeks rest, and I really pray that you will find a lot of peace and happiness in these 2 weeks. I cannot thank you enough for how hard you have worked with all my heart thank you so much for all you have done. I really, really appreciate it. And so do the children, because they're coming into school, they're getting a sense of normality, they're getting their education, and they're coming to a safe place. And it's all because of you. Every single one of you, teachers, teaching assistants, cleaners, caretakers, office staff, school business managers, preschool practitioners, you have all been incredible. Midday supervisors, incredible. Every single one of you, thank you so much. So now as we come to the end of 2020, let's try and reflect on the positives that may have come out of this really challenging and difficult year. We've had opportunities to spend more time with our family. We've had opportunities to take walks and take in the beautiful scenery that surrounds us. We've had time to reflect on what's important to us, and we've managed to change some things. Some of the things that we thought were really important, turns out perhaps they weren't, and we've been able to take stock and reconnect with those who mean the most to us. And so as we move into 2021, I obviously pray it's a better year for every single one of us, without all those challenges. But I also pray that you'll have a peaceful time this Christmas, that you'll get to see your family members, and that you get a chance to relax and recharge the batteries to go again in January. In the spirit of Slade, it feels like the only thing I can say now is, it's Christmas! Have a wonderful Christmas. I look forward to seeing you in January. God bless you all. Bye.
Cudham CE News.